come one, come all, those short, those tall. There may be some clowning around, but you'll get an earful all in all. No need for wailers, no need for saviors. Don't be frightened, do not hide. Enter now and enjoy the ride. So step right up, those far and near. The attraction is set. It's Ear for Fear.
Hi, welcome to the Ear for Fear podcast. This is the podcast that talks about scary movies.
Boo.
A movie's trying to be scary.
Eek.
That's Morris.
Hey.
I'm Rick. What's up?
What's up?
What's happening, man?
So we're here to talk about
Scary movie?
a spooky movie. No, it was good.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil.
Yep,
This just came out.
it did.
You called me up yesterday and said, hey, because this was on our list.
It was.
Like we started we've taken a little bit of a break, a few months, well-deserved break, and we started accumulating some movies
Yep.
that we will do during the year. I think we're probably just going to go, instead of 2 episodes a month, we're probably just going to go to 1 a month.
Yeah.
Create that demand, where all our fans just are jonesing for the next episode.
Yeah, they are. They got to get it.
They got to get the fix.
Yeah.
They got to get the fix.
They're slapping their vein.
Well, reality is it's hard to do multiple episodes. You're working like 6 days a week these days.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
busy with other stuff. So
Yeah, it's tough.
yeah, but this was definitely on our list. And I didn't realize it was coming out in the theaters.
Yeah.
And we just went and saw it.
We saw that it was a Shudder exclusive, but yeah, it's not hitting Shudder for about another month.
Month.
Yeah.
You want to do a synopsis? You want me to do a little quick one?
You go ahead.
It's 1977.
Mm-hmm.
A live television broadcast goes, I don't know, let's say very, very wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Unleashing evil into the nation's living rooms.
I like it.
Yeah. Full spoilers?
1, 2, spoilers coming for you.
So, I was really looking forward to this movie, and I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I did. I really liked this. I think as we start talking about it, it's not really I don't know if it's a gripe. It might be a small gripe, is the ending.
Yeah.
And you and I are, I think, puzzled by the ending. We're not quite sure. Is it because we've only seen it once because it just came out?
Right.
So we're at a bit of a disadvantage. I feel like this is a movie that maybe warrants 2 or 3 viewings for us to be a little more accurate. I don't know.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, because it seems like if there's a definitive ending, maybe we miss that. But it almost seems like it's a little open for interpretation on just maybe 3 different explanations of what occurred.
Yeah, I think when we were driving, as we were driving back, that's the stuff that bothers me because I felt like this is a solid movie, a little bit of a slow burn, but I enjoyed it because it captured, I think, that 70s feel. It captured that late night talk show feel.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining for me. Like I was like waiting for what was going to happen next. You know,
his set totally reminded me of like the Mike Douglas show or like Tom Snyder. The late night show with Tom Snyder back in the freaking 70s. And I know in the movie it has that. He's kind of warring with he wants to be Carson.
Yeah, he wants to overtake Carson as the number one.
So he's it's a fictional show. but he's talking about real stuff.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Carson and the Late Show.
Yeah.
Or the Tonight Show.
The Tonight Show, yeah, the Tonight Show. Because I mean, when Carson was around, he was pretty much the king, right?
Oh yeah, Carson was, he was the definitive king of late night, and I mean, Carson made or broke any like comedian or musical act.
Yeah,
you wanted that coveted spot on the couch.
Yeah,
after you
definitely.
You did your set or whatever.
Yeah. So, and we're still trying to kind of, I don't know, wrap our heads around this. So we're going to do the best we can to explain it. The idea here is Jack Delroy is a talk show host.
Yeah. Played by David Dastmalchian.
I don't know. Is that how you pronounce?
I'm pretty
what
sure.
else have we seen him in?
Oh, he was Dot Man or
oh, that's right, in that good Suicide Squad one. That is right.
Yeah.
Oh man, he was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, and then any character I ever see him in, he always freaking nails it.
Yeah, he was he was great in this.
And I know I've seen him narrate it was like a horror movie countdown or something, or he was interviewed and he was doing something on something I saw. But he is a horror movie fan.
Is he?
Yeah, true horror movie fan. So I like the fact that he's he loves the
genre.
The genre.
Yeah. So let's run through the characters, and then we can kind of go and try to dissect this thing.
Okay.
So we got Jack Delroy, June Ross Mitchell. We're gonna meet her. I don't know, not too far into the movie, but she is what is it? Kind of like not really like the Warrens, but I forget what the actual terminology is for her. Carmichael Haig.
Oh, she's a parapsychologist?
Parapsychologist?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so,
that sounds good. Lily, which is basically her patient, but more than that.
Yeah.
Carmichael Haig is like, he used to be a magician, and now he just
turned skeptic.
Yeah, and then he basically he tries to find faults and and prove people wrong. Like if they say they're a psychic, well, he usually has an explanation on
exactly
how you did it. Excuse me. Chris Dew. Is it Chris Dew?
Chris Dew.
Chris Dew is the so-called psychic. Gus McConnell. Gus is like the
Ed McMahon.
The Ed McMahon of
or Andy Reichner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like his right-hand man,
Yeah.
Kind of keeping the show together.
Yeah, he's the little sidekick, I guess. Leo, I think, is the producer. And Madeline is would have been Jack Delroy's wife.
Yeah.
She has since passed.
Yeah. So he's dealing with the grief of losing her.
Yeah, because the show has always done really well, but it's never overtaken Carson. Right. And he's always wanted to overtake Carson, and really would kind of go to
extremes
to do so.
Right.
Which I think is, well, I don't really think, I know that's what's happened here is, so his wife comes down with lung cancer, even though she's never smoked a day in her life.
Right.
So she ends up dying from cancer.
And it's kind of speculated that, because they did this little, like, kind of like a quick,
kind of like a narrative, like where they
talked about his whole kind of existence in 10 minutes. You know?
Yeah. Basically, the start of the talk show, and showed footage over the years of stuff that he's done. Excuse me. And then they talked a little bit about how there is a
secret
society
called
that goes
the Grove.
Was the Grove? I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think it's the Grove. And what they do is they meet up in the woods, and it's kind of
like you always hear about the stories of like the Freemasons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
People aren't quite sure exactly what they do, but they speculate that they
Go in the woods and do
sacrifices and stuff.
Yeah.
The idea here is,
Fame and success.
yeah, at what cost, right?
Yeah.
And so what we believe, like Morris and I were talking about this, is we believe he made some sort of, I don't know, pact. He sacrificed something so he could overtake, say, Carson for that number one spot.
Yeah.
And as this plays out, what we believe is what he sacrificed, and maybe he didn't realize it at the time.
I don't think he realized it.
But was, basically the life of his wife, right? That's where the cancer came in. If she never had smoked ever,
Right.
how did she develop lung cancer?
Because they emphasized that
Yeah.
that she never smoked a day in her life, and she ended up developing lung cancer. So yeah.
So, so there's a good chance that's what happened. He went out in the woods with these guys. I don't know, I guess that's the sacrifice. I don't think like I said, I don't think that was his intent.
No.
Who knows what was said in the woods and what he actually did, but I think the end result was
Her dying.
and developing cancer. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. I think it was that cough you had prior to us recording. I'm like,
I know I was choking.
You were
'Cause
choking. I think you passed it on to me.
I ate a Snickers bar and it went down the wrong pipe. Run down my windpipe, and I was hacking.
I think I don't know. You passed it on to me because I can't stop coughing. So I apologize, everyone. I think partly allergies and stuff too.
Yeah, the pollen's really bad right now.
But so he's kind of he grieved, right, when his wife passed, because his wife was everything to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the show kind of, he came back. The show just wasn't doing as well as it used to. And it's possible I don't know. Maybe he just, what do you think, man? Do you think his heart was just in it, or it was just, it kind of ran its course and he was still kind of grasping on to the previous, I don't know, fame and stuff. And so he's kind of at this impasse, right, where they're not sure if the show is going to be renewed.
Right.
And it's sweeps week, right?
Yeah.
So you got to bring it.
So it's a crossroads for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the show it's a Halloween. It's on Halloween, so it's going to be the theme of the evening, I guess, or the show is in that realm of psychics and I'm not gonna say exorcisms, but kind of devilish talk.
Yeah.
Because the one guest, June Ross Mitchell, had just recently published a book. It was something with the devil, right? Conversations with the Devil. I think that's what it was.
Conversations with the Devil. Yeah.
And it was her conversations and study of Lily.
And since she's a parapsychologist.
And Lily, backstory with Lily is she's
a survivor of
a cult.
Of a cult, yeah. A devil worshipping cult.
Yeah. Everyone else, I guess, had died and she survived.
Yeah. Basically, it sounds like the end result of that movie, Bad Dreams.
Bad Dreams.
You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Where everybody burned to death,
Yeah.
and except for the one survivor, and then she was she was haunted by the cult leader and stuff. But it totally reminded me of Bad Dreams when that was going on.
I haven't seen that movie forever.
Yeah.
The first guest that comes out is this Christou, right?
Yeah.
And he claims to be a psychic. And you immediately know that we've seen enough of these to know that
where they're fishing.
He's such a fake.
Yeah.
Where I'm seeing like a name and he's totally blowing it. He can't even get it right.
Yeah.
And you could tell he's getting irritated, and then he tries it again, and then of course he gets this mom and this daughter who had lost their son and brother, right?
Yeah.
5 years earlier or something, he had committed suicide. But it was only because
they filled out a thing.
Yeah, they filled out some sort of form, or I think it was his assistant or his wife or whoever it is was talking to people prior to the show
Right.
and filling them out. And so he's a total. You can totally tell he's a fraud.
Yeah.
But then, all of a sudden, he gets taken over by
An entity.
Yeah, an entity. And this feels weird because it seems like he has an accent, then all of a sudden he loses his accent.
Yeah.
So you could almost tell it's real. And he's hearing the name of Minnie.
Yeah.
And that something about a wedding ring.
A wedding. A man wearing a wedding ring that's not married.
Who's not married.
Yeah.
And then his eyes roll back.
Yeah. His eyes roll back and his throat kind of. It almost looks like something's like coming out of his throat.
Yeah.
They do that a lot in the possession movies.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
it's veiny.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. But then they cut to commercial, and then what I kind of dug about this, man, is that anytime it cut to like commercial, it became this gray film.
Yeah.
Like there was no color to it at all. It was just stripped away.
Because it was like behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But they could have done it in color.
They could
But
have.
they purposely stripped all the color away from it.
They chose
all the
to-
life from it, kind of.
Yeah.
And so you can tell, though, Christou is... Something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Like
because he like spewed the black goo.
Well, but he did... Yeah, he eventually did that, but he's coughing, and you can tell he's unsettled. He's not right. And then the Carmichael guy comes out, and of course calls him a fraud and a fake and all these things. They get in an argument. He throws water in the guy's face, but he tries to leave and he can't. They cut to commercial, and the dude starts
spewing like black
remember
goo.
he projectiled onto the Carmichael guy like just black tar looking shit.
Yeah.
And you can tell none of this is
none of this is staged.
No, none of this is staged. They eventually take him away on in an ambulance, and we find out that he ends up dying in the ambulance because I don't know, he was
because that whatever that black stuff was,
Yeah.
it just kind of was coming out of every single hole in his body.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What do you think that shit is, though? Like, what is, like, what do you think?
It's Possession 101.
Possession stuff.
In the movie. How they...
It's like, what are we going to do here? Let's,
They always have, like, anytime anybody's possessed, that somebody has to have, like, black shit come out of them.
It's
Yeah.
like, what do we do here? Oh, I don't know. Let's flip through all the other movies. Oh, there's that black shit. Let's put that in.
Yeah, let's do that. But it didn't bother me.
No, I liked it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was interested. I mean, they had me entertained, and I was waiting for the next thing to happen. Like I wasn't sure. Like, okay, what's going to happen here? Like, is this going to happen or is that going to happen? And so I'm just kind of on. I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it captured, like you said, that 70s feel, the talk show feel, the cheesy slides in between where, hey,
Oh yeah, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. And
Yeah.
one of them was like, because the show was called Night Owls, and I think one of the little slides said something about Halloween or something with an owl, and I thought they would do something like that with those talk shows, especially in the late 70s.
Yeah, especially since this one's called Night Owl with what's his name, Delroy? Jack Delroy.
Jack Delroy.
Yeah.
So then he brings on now. Okay, really fast. Did you think him and June had a thing?
I thought so.
It seemed like they had a thing.
I think I leaned over to you and I go, "Do you think this happened after the wife died, or maybe when she was still alive?"
So, at the time I thought it was during, but I think it was after.
Maybe after, and then
But they don't really quite
but the okay, so I don't know if we just I mean it's sort of a spoiler, but yeah, we'll talk to the demon. We'll say the demon. The demon says something, and I didn't quite get what the demon said about them.
About how
Uh-huh.
I believe the demon kept saying something about how she thinks Mr. Delroy is handsome or something like that. Like kept saying it over and over again.
Right. But then something else was said.
Something else was said?
About the two of them, about June and Jack.
Oh,
but I
okay.
can't remember what it was said. And that's why this film needs multiple viewings to.
I think so. I think it does. Well, June and Lily come out, and Lily she's interesting.
Yeah.
It always came across to me that at any second she could snap.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like minus the fact that she has someone inside her, right?
Right.
But it's only when she's almost like under, like in some sort of trance,
right?
That this thing. What was the name? Mr. Wriggles.
Mr. Wriggles.
And she said something like, well, because he wriggles his way in and wriggles his. I'm like, why didn't they just say Wiggles? I don't know. I don't know.
Because maybe they didn't want to be like the Wiggles because it's the Australian.
Oh shit!
Maybe
could be
maybe.
And so, he's interviewing Lily, and I mean, she just seems she's really good because the way she's interacting, she's staring at the camera. It's all creepy, dude. Yeah. It's seriously unsettling. Like I'm thinking at any time,
like
she's
happen. Like she's somebody that's like overacting. No, I mean in a way. Like to the camera, it's like, and then she's like totally tilting to the camera, and she's like, "Okay, Jack."
Yeah, it's fucking creepy though.
Whatever you say, Jack.
Yeah,
yeah.
And she kept complimenting him.
Yeah,
and saying, and it was just, it was just creepy.
It was weird. Yeah.
Anyways, so they, Jack and the crowd convince, even though June is against it. She feels that Lily is becoming very unstable, and that she believes if she goes under, it's not going to turn well. Yeah, it's not going to end well. But the crowd and Jack and Lily, honestly, as well, convince June, even though she's really against it. She puts Lily under, and she definitely goes a little fucking possessed.
Oh right? Yeah, she does. She turns all freaking Reagan Pazuzu.
She does. And what was interesting, I mean, the eyes, the hair, the face almost looked like a man's face. Underneath the long hair, because she has the long hair, right, and it's covering half of her face. It looked like there were cuts all of a sudden. The different voice. And at some point she starts to levitate. She says a few things about. She turns to Jack and says something to the effect of "It's nice to see you again." And Jack is taken back by this and goes, "Well, I don't think we've ever met." He's being the typical like talk show host, right? Trying to make a kind of a crack a joke and stuff. But you and I were talking about this.
Yeah.
This is what we believe happened, right? So we believe that whenever him and all of those dudes, the Grove, were in the woods, he talked to some demon.
Yeah.
We believe that demon was in this little girl. And that's why it said, "Hey, it's nice to see you again." And so, yeah. Because there were certain things that the demon said, or things that were said, that this wasn't scripted. Only he would have known.
Exactly.
So June basically snaps her out of it, and the Carmichael guy thinks he can, he believes that he can show how this was, I don't know, a farce. It was, it was faked. But in the meantime, each time they go to commercial, they got the producer. I think it's Leo.
Leo, yeah.
And you got, I think it's Gus, who is his, his sidekick guy or whatever. And he doesn't like this at all. He's very unsettled by this.
Yeah.
He's
like, you're messing with things that shouldn't be messed with.
Yeah. And then I think some of the crew leave? Like they left. They literally walk out because they're like, This isn't cool.
This something's wrong here.
And so they come back, and everyone believes this happened. Like Jack is taken back by this, but the Carmichael guy wants to explain how it happened, and Jack's given him 5 minutes to I don't know, to try to explain it and see if you can poke some holes into what just happened.
Exactly.
So he basically puts Gus and the rest of the audience into a trance.
Yeah.
And
at first you're thinking that it's because like the Christou thing, you're thinking that, oh shit, it's happening, because I thought that. You know what was funny? So you mean the whole worm thing? Yeah.
Yeah, because
when that was happening.
So Gus is highly afraid of worms, and Carmichael knows this. So when he puts him under the trance, he starts, I guess,
suggesting
certain things like, hey, you look hot, or your neck is and so then kind of Gus plays along, and what we're seeing is like he pulls a worm out of his neck, and then he takes off his shirt, and he's like, oh, they're inside me, and then literally all these worms and stuff pour out of his stomach. And everyone thinks it's real, including Jack. Lily seems to be the only one, though, that doesn't. She's laughing at this, which was very interesting. And then he basically snaps, and none of it was real.
Right.
It was just, like you said, he suggested it because he had hypnotized him.
Right.
And since everyone else was hypnotized as well, they thought they saw, So in his eyes, he's explaining what just happened with June and Lily. So they play it back, and yes, none of it happened. So, Carmichael thinks, because during this broadcast, he's offering $500,000 if anyone can
prove that it's real.
Prove that it's real. So then, Lily's like, hey, go ahead and play our stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
And they do, and it's there's nothing fake about it. It's real.
It plays out like
and
we saw.
And Carmichael is not sure. He's like, I don't know. I can't explain it, but I feel like there's something going on here.
Yeah.
And then at what point does Jack have them, freeze the footage and go really, really slow, frame by frame?
Mm-hmm.
When was that? Was that after that?
Yeah.
Because there was a little blip in the film.
Yeah.
And he has them, go back a few seconds and then go really, really slow. And then what happens is we see the ghost of his wife,
like with her hand on his shoulder.
And then Carmichael he thinks this is just it's all part of the show, and it's not.
Because he's like, you're just going for the ratings. You're playing on your wife's death again. Mm-hmm. So that's what's going on here.
I mean, the one episode or the one show that he did when he brought his wife on before she passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, that was literally that. I felt so bad about that. It was like,
that was bad to watch.
That was just for ratings, and that's pretty sad, to do something like that. But then all of a sudden, is that when Lily kind of, it's almost like this electricity or something comes out of her? Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
That's what I didn't understand, man. So if she is possessed, right?
Yeah.
Then explain to me the whole, what was happening there? Like,
I don't know.
Was it the fact that it was a broadcast, and so it's supposed to somehow make sense to us that she almost, her head almost kind of splits open, and then like all of this electric energy, and it almost looked like static, and all this weird shit was happening. I didn't understand.
But she was, it's almost like she was like full on the demon, but that was the demon form we saw.
That was the demon form?
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the true demon form. Because, she made Gus's head like turn around and then crash through the coffee table.
Dude, that was funny. He did. I was like, there's no way he just said the power of Christ compels you. Is that what he said?
Yes.
I was like, what?
And he was holding up his little crucifix.
His little crucifix.
Around his neck.
And I was like, but then I thought about it and I was like, well,
it's 77.
It's 77. Exorcist was 73.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the first thing he could think of.
Because he seemed like he was really kind of like theologically freaked out. You know, so maybe
and then what else would you say?
Well, if he had a cross, he believes in God, so.
But the fact that he said the same lines from The Exorcist, I thought was pretty funny.
Maybe that's his way. Is like, okay, well, this is my defense against evil. It worked in the movie. It's gonna work for me, and it didn't turn out so good for her.
That's funny.
She totally just.
Dude, she spun his head halfway around, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he slammed into the coffee table.
That looked really kind of cool.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he took June, and then June was basically lifted up by her whatever necklace she had on, and then sliced her neck open.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
And then the Carmichael one, I didn't understand. Was that it melt him or something?
I think he was melting, but I thought maybe he was like, at first I thought he was burning. You know, it almost looked like he started to burn.
Yeah.
But maybe he was melting. Maybe
I like that he took the check out of his pocket, the one for $500,000, and then the demon just kind of, I don't know.
Would she say money to burn or something?
I don't know what it was. I thought that was pretty funny. I wasn't really crazy about it. The other two deaths were cool. His death was just like whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
It was almost like kind of like a fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I was just gonna say Raiders. Yeah. And then Jack kind of leaves the set while Lily is, and the whole crowd is panicking. They're running away. Did any of them in the crowd die? I don't think they did.
They were just freaked. I think. No, I don't know. I think the electricity was hitting them.
Was it though?
I thought so.
No, because I remember the electricity going across over their heads.
So nobody was being hit by electricity?
I don't think so, but again, dude, we watched it once.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
Because then that would remind me of, again, Raiders.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, yeah.
Or fucking the movie Trick or Treat. When the crowd of the kids in the
the one with, what's his name?
With
Skippy from Family Ties, yeah.
Where he was he had the guitar with the lightning coming out, and he was
I'll be honest, dude, I watched that like once when it came out, and I thought it was crap.
I know you think it's crap. I have fun with it.
I know you do.
I like it.
I know you do. I know you like it.
It's part of the late 80s. I would say when I say
was it
late
80s?
It's 86. So when I say late 80s,
that's mid-80s.
Anything that came after Elm Street, friggin' Hollywood was like, okay, we got to emulate Elm Street. We got to have our own Freddy Krueger. So that was, they did the same. Fuck, Wes Craven did it again with fucking Shocker.
Yeah.
You know,
another movie was just whatever.
It was a freaking, and then they did it with Brain Scan. They did it with
Brain Scan comes to mind as well. Yeah.
Any character that they can friggin' make into a Freddy. That fucking horrible movie that you hate. I don't hate it as bad, but what is it? Slumber Party Massacre 2 with the rocker guy with the drill guitar.
Dude, that was terrible. That movie sucked ass, and you know it.
But he was like a Freddy.
Dude, he was not a Freddy.
I mean,
he did have stupid one-liners, though. They were terrible, but dude, that movie sucked ass.
It was bad.
Anyways. Okay, so Jack leaves the set, right? And then all of a sudden, it's you turn to me and he goes, yeah, he's in hell.
Yeah, he's in hell because he comes, it's like he leaves the set, but then it's like
he returns.
He was like turned around, like where he was walking, he like walked back into the set.
Yeah. And
I turned to you and I was like, yeah, he's in fucking hell right now.
Yeah.
This is his personal hell.
Personal hell.
Which would be like, yeah, you're number one now, Jack. forever,
and never. Yeah.
It reminded me of like Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely.
Where where the audience was laughing and the sidekick was still alive, and that's another thing about his sidekick. What was his name again?
Gus, yeah.
He reminded me when that Carmichael was putting him under.
Yeah.
Totally reminded me of the scene from Scanners. And he kind of has that look of that guy
he
from...
He did kind of have that look. Yeah.
Where, I mean, he was like, the guy from Scanners, and his head blew up, But with Gus, he had like worms come out of him.
Yeah.
But I think that was kind of like a little wink to Scanners. A little bit.
You think so?
I think so.
It could
especially with the way that Gus looked.
Yeah.
And especially with, that... Des Malchian knowing that he's a horror fan.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah,
I felt there was several winks throughout.
With different movies.
Yeah, with different movies. Yeah, man. I mean, it was weird because it was different things that was happening, right? Like it would flash back to like an old show that he did.
Yeah,
but then it didn't turn out the way we saw it earlier.
Yeah, because it's like he's self-aware. He's like, what the fuck? Where am I? What's going on? And then they're like, wait a minute, Jack, that's not how the script goes.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? And then it like turned into him being in the woods at the Grove, right?
Yep. And he was drinking something.
Yeah, they said, drink. Mm-hmm. And they made him drink, which I thought was probably blood.
That's what I thought too.
But they never showed it.
Now, I just thought about this. And what was funny is when he was in the woods, it wasn't a woods, it was a set. It looked like a set.
Oh, that's
so
true.
like the tree, it wasn't a real tree, it was like a
set tree.
Yeah, a set tree. Wasn't the person in the costume in the foreground? Wasn't it an owl?
Yeah,
it was an owl, right? Yeah. And his show being called Night Owls. I just got that.
Yeah,
I just got that.
And that owl is a fucking wink to the movie Stage Fright, which is an Italian slasher movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
where
the killer was wearing an owl head.
Wearing an owl head.
Looks identical to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, see, I'd never seen that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So then there's that, and then he's walking down a hall and the door opens and there's his wife, and she's in bed, and of course she's dying. I mean,
the bed looked like it was on the set.
Yes, it did.
It didn't look like a real room in his house. It looked like the set.
Yeah, and she's talking to him about basically the gist of it was, put me out of my misery.
Yeah,
and there's that dagger.
You got what? Oh yeah, we forgot to mention the fact that he. After the, Lily possession thing, that he put the dagger in between him and Lily. And you and I both said, that's not going to end well.
Dude, that is not, I was like, I thought at any point she was going to snap and just slice his neck or something. Yeah.
But that's not what happened.
No, I mean, and so when you and I were, so basically she says, look, put me out of my misery. There's the dagger. And he stabs her. But then essentially wakes up and he's stabbing Lily.
Like over and over again.
Over and over again. And everyone is still... See, you and I...
both thought that it was going to be like... kind of like the end of Joker, where it was shocking with everybody like seeing a murder on the stage.
But I thought everyone else was going to be alive. And then he's killing Lily.
Exactly. That's
what I would have. I'll be honest. I would have preferred to have seen that.
Like everyone like screaming, going, "Oh my god! I can't believe he's killing her!" Or just being in shock. Or just being quiet.
Something
like everybody's just gasping because they can't believe, and then you hear the sirens in the background.
Yes. Yeah. And then everyone else is still alive.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. Everyone else is still dead.
With
he's killing Lily.
Turnaround head and the sliced neck and the burnt Carmichael body.
Yeah.
So maybe interpretation is that when emergency services get there, police, paramedics, whatever, they're gonna think he killed everybody.
Do you think though? Okay, but then. whose doing is that? Is that his wife's
Right. Like,
doing because she believes that whatever he did in the woods caused her life, basically caused her to get cancer.
well, think about this.
Okay.
Whenever, like Wishmaster, make a wish.
Yeah.
And you make a wish, but it doesn't always go
It
the way.
doesn't go the way you want. Yeah.
So, remember Lily said to him, I'm sure you're going to be famous after tonight.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's going to be number one.
But for all the
All the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be remembered forever as the guy that killed the little girl on the stage.
And maybe everyone thinks that he killed everyone else too.
Right.
I don't know. But I felt like when he was stabbing, I thought about, okay, so because we just watched this, I'm trying to work this out. When we had left the theater, I thought, okay, she wanted him to stab her so she could die, even though she was already dead. But basically, she could be at peace, right? She could pass over.
Mm.
I don't think that was the case.
No.
Now that you and I are talking about this, it was
a rouge.
It was, that way he's killing Lily,
yeah.
and he pays for what essentially he did to Madeline, which was his wife.
Right.
By doing whatever sacrifice or deal he made with the devil, so he could be this, he could be number one, which never really came to fruition, but in the meantime killed her.
And maybe because they did play up the whole Carmichael trying to prove that people could be hypnotized.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole thing with Lily's head opening up never happened. Maybe he did kill everybody on the stage, and she was the last one he killed. Maybe. I mean that
is possible,
and that's what we're saying is it's kind of the thing that maybe we don't really. We want more of a concrete answer, because it's left for interpretation for this ending.
Definitely.
So.
I mean,
because you can kind of look at it as maybe he killed everybody, and she was like the last one that, because all the stuff that we saw, was all like in his mind.
That is possible. All of that is possible, and I can be on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because either way, there was no one else left in that studio other than the guests and him. So how do you explain that?
Right.
Everyone else is gone. So I know some of the crowd was running away when some of the deaths were happening.
But maybe that didn't happen.
Maybe none of that happened.
Yeah, maybe that.
Interesting. I mean, I could get on board with that.
Yeah. Because they did make a point to show that, the Carmichael thing, it's like, hey, I made you guys believe that worms were coming out. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's possible. I definitely want to watch this a couple more times once it hits Shudder, so I can and maybe we catch other stuff that we just didn't catch.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I mean, I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I did too.
I was looking forward to it, and it paid off.
Yeah, it did.
And so I'm glad, because this will be the first episode of this year, and I think this movie is very solid. I would absolutely tell people to go check it out.
Yeah, support horror like this in movie theaters.
Yeah, definitely.
So they can make more, semi-original stuff, not all
the same shit we always see.
Yeah,
there is a lot of. I think I say a lot. I'm not positive there's a lot, but I've started, like I said earlier in the episode, we've started accumulating a list, and there's some stuff that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah,
that's coming out this year.
And there's stuff that we're not. I mean, before this movie played, we saw that Tarot.
Oh,
yeah, and
the trailer for Tarot.
Yeah,
I want to check that one out. I have a feeling it's not going to be great, but maybe it'll surprise us.
I have a feeling it's going to be like fucking Ouija and Talk to Me and anything that, group of friends get together and fuck with shit that they, some ancient shit that they found that they probably shouldn't fucking touch. And then the friends start dying one by one.
What I'll tell you what I did like with the trailer is when they flipped the card and whatever character was on the card, that's what's haunting them. I do that I like.
Yeah.
Now, whether they execute it correctly or not, we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind checking it out. A Violent Nature is one we're really looking forward to.
Oh, that one looks pretty cool because it looks like a friggin' spree killer, like a Jason, it looks like you are following him instead of following
which is real interesting.
Yeah, I like that you're actually following the killer throughout the movie.
Yeah,
and kind of in his eyes, it almost reminds me of that oh God, Frodo. What's his name? Oh my God, he's that.
Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood, yeah. God,
so the Elijah Wood remake of Maniac.
Oh yeah.
Because that one was pretty cool. Because the whole movie is just behind his eyes.
Yeah,
and
it'll be interesting if that's how that movie plays out. But it seemed that way.
It did.
Especially
in the trailer.
It did. It looks like it's gonna be pretty gnarly. I just hope it's good because I'm looking forward to that one, and there's a few other ones that we're looking forward to as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, man, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything we missed?
No, I think I covered everything that I made little mental notes on things that were callbacks to other movies, and I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I did too. I would absolutely tell people to go check it out.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out again.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. I guess before I hit end to this, I have a note to myself. Outro. I haven't changed the outro, folks. So I'm being lazy right now. I'll eventually change it, but there's no website anymore, and we don't do Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah,
you'll find us on Instagram, YouTube, that type of stuff. All the other platforms. I think it seems to me that some of these podcast platforms are going away.
Yeah,
like I thought I got an email that Google Podcast was going away and becoming something else or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe it's just changing names.
It could be changing names.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. Morris, thanks for coming on out.
Yep.
Everyone, take care.
Bye.
You listened all the way to the end. We appreciate that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Ear for Fear Podcast, Twitter at Ear for Fear, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ear for Fear Podcast. You can also check out our website, earforfear.com. There we list news and events. We're available on all the main platforms, so make sure you tell a friend. We hope you come back and get an earful.